So welcome everybody to the ARPA Day Committee meeting for Monday, September 11th. As with all the meetings of the ARPA Day Transformational Committee are public meetings as defined by the Connecticut Freedom of Information Act and should follow these guidelines. As this public meeting is held virtually, it will be recorded and made available to view on the DDS website. Committee members must make a good faith effort to state their names and title, if applicable, each time they speak during the meeting. If a committee member would like to speak, please raise your hand and one of the co-chairs will acknowledge you. There is no public comment portion to this meeting. Members of the public are able to join, watch, and listen only. So it's been a while. I believe the last meeting we had was June 12th of 23. I sent those meeting minutes out on Friday. Is there any questions? And can I have someone make a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Ally, second, Jennifer?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
All right, any not approved? All right, seeing none or hearing none. And Trevor, I'm glad you can join us. Are you, I just left.
Sorry that I'm late.
I just left it the same as for the July meeting that you were presenting on the Sound Commission. Are you all set?
Yes, I can pull up. I don't have a crazy amount of updates, but I am ready. I apologize for being late, everyone. I was just actually in a meeting getting ready for National Disability Employment Awareness Month in October. So everybody make sure you're marking your calendars. But I'm just going to do a quick update on DDS employment and day services. So the first thing that I wanted to say is really exciting. One of the recommendations that was made in our SELN work groups was incentives for ACRE and APSI approved trainings. And I can now officially say that DDS has our Appendix K, some of our changes were approved, and so we can now offer that incentive. I can give more information and put it in the chat about the memo related to it. But to sum it up quickly, providers are now eligible for a reward payment, a one-time payment, up to $3,000 per staff. And I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm going to open it really quick. But the payment is to reward employment. Let's see. Sorry, team, I'm just trying to find it. Employment trainings, specifically APSI approved and ACRE approved employment trainings. The customized employment course that's offered by the state of Connecticut is also included. Provider staff can get it's $3,000 per employee up to a total of $30,000 per qualified agency. And it's if they've attended and successfully completed the programs that are outlined in the memo. And I'll put that memo in the chat just so everybody does have access. But it's also on our communications page of the website. Another exciting piece is our transportation work group, which was a product of the Sound work groups. We released a transportation survey. For all of you here, I will also I'm going to put a link to that as well, because I'm asking all of you, if you can, please share it with individuals and families. The goal of this survey is to get information specific to individuals with disabilities in Connecticut, and it's written for individuals with disabilities to be taken by themselves with their support person, with their family member, so that we can get more information to inform the group about transportation in Connecticut. And I'm going to put the link in the chat to that as well, because there is a Spanish and English version. And for those of you who know about our STEP mailers, They go out to a large number of people within the state, physical mailers. And the second to last page of the mailer was actually had the QR codes for the English and Spanish versions. And I heard on Friday that some people were starting to receive them. So we're hoping to get those numbers increased. We have about 500 responses right now, and we're looking to get more than 1,000 is our goal. So please share that if you can. It asks all sorts of questions about transportation. What is your preferred option? What option do you use the most? What are the barriers? You know, asking questions about public transportation, your experiences. It's very in-depth, but it's going to be very helpful to inform the work group. Another piece that came out of this is the one-time employment incentives guide. We are I'm skipping ahead. The one-time incentives guide, we had an older version when they first came out a long time ago, and we were able to renew it. It's completely rewritten. There are pictures here. I work very closely with Sean, who's on our committee, the regional administrators, and we made sure that we're all agreeing to the same approach across the regions. We are working currently to update it with all of the questions and different pieces that were brought to us after it was released in July. And so that is pending, but right now it is officially out there, and it is a really great resource. It explains in depth how to do each specific piece. It explains what they are, the purpose, the funding available, and there's a frequently asked questions at the bottom, which are actual questions that we've been asked over the last year by our provider agencies and case managers. And we're adding to the FAQ section as well as a few different pieces to ensure clarity. But that was a really big accomplishment as well. Internally, we're working to further this. We have, as you all, I shouldn't say as you all know, customized employment is also one-time non-annualized funding. And so we have an internal document that is in the final process of being approved. That's an internal piece to make sure we're helping our case managers and DDS staff understand the difference between one-time incentives and customized employment so that we can ensure informed choice to our individuals. We're also creating a brochure for each of those services that can be given when the case manager is having that discussion, maybe at a PPT, a one-on-one, that is written person-centered for the individual. So if we're talking about customized employment, a brochure that is in person-centered language, if you are interested in this, what you will be doing about our services so that we have more materials that we can give to individuals and families when case managers are having conversations. We're slowly starting to build them up for more of our resources, but right now, the ones that are on their final steps are the one-time employment incentives and customized employment because of the renewed focus on our one-time incentives. But on the docket are project search, employment transition services, and in the remainder of our employment services. And then finally, I can't not say that the customized employment, the Connecticut customized employment certification course has launched again. We will be offering 4 more iterations throughout this state fiscal year that ends in at the end of June 2024. 2 of the sessions will be starting this calendar year. One starts in October, I believe the other starts in November, and those are sessions A and B. And the applications for them are already out there and open. The application closes this Thursday, September 14th at the close of business day. The state will be accepting 22 provider staff members per each iteration. And then we will have 2 more iterations that start in January and then February to certify staff in customized employment services. So all kinds of here and there's everywhere, but all of these pieces are aspects that were goals and recommendations made by our SELN, State Employment Leadership Network, DDS Employment Services Work Group. We are currently working to put together our final report that goes and gives a whole overview of where we started, where we went, and where we ended up. And that also identifies the remaining recommendations and gaps. I've had conversations with Keith, and we're going to be working with leadership internally so that we can see where some of the overlap is between the SELN groups and the recommendations there, the ARPA and STEP actions. And then we also have some other overlapping initiatives from our other state agencies that we're looking at too, to see how we can make sure that we're using all the resources that are available to accomplish the different employment goals that we've set. I know that was a lot, but are there any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Trevor? No? All right. Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you.
All right, the next thing is for me to give an update on the different ARPA projects. So I'll start. I know Trevor just mentioned this. The revised Appendix K was approved. It's retroactive, so providers in phase 1 are included for additional incentives. And Jennifer, you should have been contacted by now. Have you? And
Yes, we are all set.
oh, good, good. So
Yeah.
the regions are working with the approved providers to contact them and get their budgets all updated with the new incentives in Appendix K. So anybody putting in the plan in the future, they will all be there already. So that won't be a problem. There was an added outcome payment for day providers. So we have an outcome payment for individuals who move from a congregate day setting to an employment setting. We will also pay providers who have an approved plan. So depending on how large the plan is, the agency can get payment for 1, 2, or 3 or more programs. We have incentivized a couple of outcomes. So if you're looking to restructure a residential setting to support new individuals with specialized or complex medical or behavioral or clinical needs. So if you have, for an example, if you have 4 or more move out and 4 individuals with significant medical behavioral needs move in, there's an outcome payment for that, in addition to the outcome payment for the people moving out. And it's the same thing with the day. If you restructure a day program to provide supports that focus on employment-based services, also for day, if you're now going to support individuals with complex medical behavioral needs, you'll have an outcome payment for that. Lastly, if you're looking to end a sub-minimum wage arrangement, or we'll have an outcome payment for that as well. So we're really trying to incentivize some of the pieces that we heard families with individuals with complex needs talk about in a lot of these meetings. The National Core Indicator Survey is a workforce survey to get the number of staff, how much they are paid. But now if agencies complete it, they'll get an incentive of $2,500. As Trevor mentioned, we're incentivizing providers for doing certain training. If staff get accredited for supportive employment or customized employment, they would get an outcome payment for that. Individuals completing training for assistive technology would also receive a payment. At DDS, 100 individuals are participating in training for assistive technology at the University of California. And that just started up this past week, I believe. So we got 100 staff at DDS being trained for that. Deloitte has come up with a bunch of recommendations and a number of action steps. DDS has established owners of these action steps and a timeline for completion. Also with the just another Deloitte update, we kind of front-loaded much of what Deloitte did. So they were very active in the beginning of the year. Now they are working mainly on the technical assistance. It was kind of slow over the summer, but we're very glad that we have about 10 new providers that have met with Deloitte on technical assistance for new plans. So we hope those come to fruition, and we get a new bunch of transformational plans in the next few weeks to next few months. Many of you may have heard Peter is retiring, officially retiring in December. Greg is also up in December, and I'm done in March. Gunnar Abrahamson will be stepping in for Peter. He's working now, kind of learning the ropes, and he will be completing the whole ARPA process because that goes through March of 25. So he'll be picking that up as Peter and the rest of us are leaving. And just going back to Deloitte for a second, if you can reach out to your partners and encourage different providers to attend the technical assistance to Deloitte. It is offered on a weekly basis. It was Fridays, it's now Tuesdays. I believe they alternate Tuesday mornings, and then the following week it's Tuesday afternoons. And they're also willing to set up one-to-one trainings with the individual agencies. Let's see, where else? Rewarding work website. It's finally up and running. But the DDS and DSS will be doing an RFP and encompass a website for employment networking for both DDS and DSS. This is for the individuals who self-hire their own staff. The AT RFP for assessment has been completed. Both Star and Oak Hill have received that, and they're looking to start in January. An AT conference was held. It was sold out, very successful, and they're planning for next year's conference now. The non-project-based supportive housing is looking at apartment complex that are already built. 3 providers were chosen. This was a while ago. That is going to go out again sometime in the fall. Let's see. DDS also started a case manager forum. The forum is being set up for questions for case managers and to just discuss different topics. Let's see. On the McDowell side of things, the videos, 3 of them were completed. DDS had a launch party last week for DDS staff. The commissioner got to thank everybody who participated in producing of the videos and starring in the videos. Those are going to be set to release, I believe, starting tomorrow. They're going to start releasing one a week, I think, for a while. There are 2 that are still not completed as yet. One is, I believe, remote supports. They needed to redo that one. And the employment video is just starting to be shot and produced. So that one's going to be, that one got delayed for a significant amount of time, but hopefully that gets started up soon and hopefully gets done by November, I would hope. All right. I think that's about it for my updates. Anybody have any questions? Got a quiet crowd today. All right, let's see what's next here. The next thing is just other concerns and topics. And the one thing I did have is I don't know if this memo has gone out yet. But all the committees have completed, are starting to wind down. The residential committee has ended this month. The individual and day, I believe, are they're going right through December, and they may continue into the following year. The day transformation, or the DDS transformational committee is winding up in December. And we need to decide when we think we're good with our committee duties. Guys have done a great job moving forward, but once we got all the day committee incentives finalized, we've been more or less of a update meeting. I think I would like to meet in October. Just I'm hoping these 10 agencies might be submitting plans by then, so we'll at least have numbers to give you. Right now, I could let you know that there's 84 transitions for day providers. That's individuals moving out of congregate day settings into independent employment settings. And there's 32 individuals moving from congregate residential settings to more independent settings. We have received 3 additional plans so far. They're not approved as yet, but 2 of them are residential, which would add 8 more individuals to the residential side of things if they both get approved. And then there's one that's they're working with the South region, and they haven't named individuals yet, so I don't have a number, and I'm not sure this agency does both day and residential, so I don't know what they're thinking at this point. So is there anybody that has feelings about this committee? Would you want to meet the one more time in October? Or we can go through December, or we can, whatever people think.
When is the deadline for the plans again? Oh, it's sorry that I didn't raise my hand.
Oh, no, that's fine. Could you repeat your question? The deadline?
Yeah, the deadline for the new plans that are rolling in.
There is no deadline.
Okay.
I was hoping, since they're attending TA sessions with Deloitte now, that we did receive 2 that came in. I'm hopeful within the next month that a number of other agencies would submit them. If you guys remember, our goal from the beginning was 100 individuals from residential congregate settings. We would hope moved to more independent settings, and 200 individuals from congregate day to non-congregate. So we're at 84 right now for day. So we're moving along pretty well. This ARPA period ends March of 25. So there's still time for agencies to submit. Jennifer?
Yeah, this is Jennifer from UCP Eastern Connecticut. Just thinking back, and thanks for the reminder about the number of people that you were looking to move from those settings. It is good to hear the update on where we are on that, so that we know if the committee has more to work on or promote. But I do like the updates, especially the sound updates. But I wonder if there's a need to continue to meet on a monthly basis, maybe meet again in October, see where we are, and then maybe December and see where we are, as opposed to, ending altogether, or meeting monthly, which seems to be a lot at this point.
And that sounds fine to me. I mean, we could do the October meeting, skip November, and then do Anybody know when the December meeting is off the top of their head? I think it's this, I do all the committees and I
think
got a
it's the
December 4th. December 4th?
December 4th, yeah.
Okay, so that wouldn't be bad. There was another one scheduled for December 28th, and I said, nah, I don't think that one's gonna go over. But yeah, we could do the October and the December 4th meeting and cancel the November meeting. That works for me. If we can get agreement from everybody else. Anybody else have comments? You're good with that, Trevor? Is that all
Yeah.
right?
I'm
Sean?
Trevor Rogers, DDS. I'm good.
Yep, that works for me.
All right. So we'll do that and cancel the November meeting. Beth and Catherine weren't able to make it today, so I'll send an email out to everybody just to let them know. And you know, again, we appreciate everybody's effort and all the different committees. I think a lot of work got done, different areas, different things got accomplished. So, and with the individual and day, they put a lot of effort into these one pagers and also helping with the videos. So, you know, I highly recommend people look at these videos. They really did do a good job on them. Sean and Trevor, not sure if you were at the launch party, but they did get to show all the videos, and I thought they were very well done, very professional looking. So
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, agreed.
Mhm.
I was very impressed. They're so professional. Like you can tell that they're professionally done. They exceeded my expectations, and it was I enjoyed the launch party too because it was really cool to get to see the stars reacting to themselves in the
Yeah.
video.
Mhm.
and the launch party was for basically to thank those individuals, and I thought
Mhm.
Jordan did a very nice job at trying to reach everybody that was part of those videos. So I thought he did. So all right. If there are no other questions, our next meeting is 10/2 of next month. And could I get a motion to adjourn?
Jennifer Keatley, motion to adjourn.
A second?
Cynthia D. Louise, second.
All right. All right. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye.